So here we are on GoDaddy.com, and GoDaddy.com is a domain registrar which will allow you to see if the name that you want is available. So let's say that you wanted Britney'sFlowers.com. www.britney'sflowers.com. Let's say she's making a florist company. And then click search. And it'll tell you yes or no. See here it says yes, your domain is available. Buy it before someone else does. Britney'sFlowers.com. And then you can see the price here, $11.99. You could add different upsells. A lot of these domain registrars are going to try to upsell you a lot. My advice is, just get the basic stuff. You may want to do one thing, which is to make it private, and they will give you that option. Let's say you add to the cart here. Okay, so now you have your cart. Continue to cart. And you can see here that you can add privacy protection to it, which would be an additional $7.99 a year, or privacy protection and business protection, and you could say no thanks as well. So let's say you wanted to add privacy protection, and then you wanted to create an email address that matches your domain, and this you could do on a registrar, but I would actually wait. I'm going to show you how you can do that using Google. I believe Google has the best functionality for creating websites at your domain. What I mean by that is, let's say that you have www.britneysflowers.com and your name is Brittany. So let's say you want to be Brittany at britneysflowers.com. So that's what this here is talking about. Instead of being Brittany at Britney's at google.com, you able to use your actual domain, britneysflowers.com. And I'm going to show you how to do that on Google, and with using Google, which I think is the best way to do that. So let's say you have your domain here just from a registrar, and you can go ahead and buy it. Continue with these options. And you'll see here that what it wants you to do, and you see the price is now suddenly rising, and that's what I'm saying is when you're actually purchasing these domains, keep in mind how you're doing it. So see how you could go 1 year here, and now it's down to $11, and then you add the other option that had the $7.99, I believe it was, for the protection. So that's probably where you're getting. Let's see, why is the price getting? See, sometimes it's like, why is the price going up? Okay, so you have this here. Okay, so there it is, $7.99 for the security protection, plus $11.99, and that's how you got to the 20. But it was weird because it wasn't showing it um, here. See how it was kind of hiding it? So I was like, where was that? So that's what you have to do, is be really careful, because companies will try to upsell you on stuff and you may get stuff you don't need. Another thing to remember is, see how here it shows you how many years you could choose it. Like, let's say that you want to do it for 10 years to buy it all up front for 10 years of registration. Okay, you could do that. But another thing you can do is, once you've actually purchased this domain, you'll actually be able to set it up in your control center here, so that it just auto renews every year. So every year it'll just cost you another 15 bucks or so. And so that's what you should really do if you're trying to save money. Okay? So back to GoDaddy here. What happens if a name isn't available? Let's say you're searching for um, let's put in apple.com. Now we know that's not going to be available, right? So what will happen is, it'll generally say, sorry, apple.com is taken. And then it's going to show you some other domains that you can buy. Sometimes it's going to give you an option like this, for example, where you could buy apple.red. So it's a different actual type of domain. Instead of .com, it's .red, or apple.vip. These are available. See, apple.vip is $259. Apple.red is $12.99. If you're just starting a business and you don't have a really good reason to be getting a specific domain like this, it would be pretty foolish to buy this, I think. Sometimes you can even contact the person who owns it, a particular domain, and offer to buy it. I generally, just from a business perspective, don't think that's a very wise way to spend money. And let me explain. Let's say that your name is johndoe.com. Let's say, just for example, .com, right? And let's say johndoe.com, you type it in, and it is definitely taken. You might try doing something like this, okay? Let's say that you add a hyphen here. See, it's just like that, add that hyphen. Then maybe it'll work. I don't think it will because this is a pretty generic name. It's probably going to be taken. Okay, yeah, it is. But a lot of times, if you just add a hyphen in, you'll get the name that you want. Another thing to remember is you can also try other types of extensions. Here you can see extension or domain type, for example, like there's .com, .vip, .biz. Ideally, you want to stick to the ones that matter. It's going to be .com, .net, sometimes .net works. Sometimes, very seldomly, you could use like .info. But really, who's going to think if they, when you have customers that are going to be, you want them to remember your website, right? And a lot of times customers are never going to think to type in .biz. I mean, that's just not going to happen. So you ideally want to have a .com. And then there's other extensions such as .gov, which is obviously reserved for government websites. There's .org for organizations. There's .edu for specific type of institutions that are academic. So it's best to try to focus if you have a commercial situation, you're selling stuff, try to get a .com. Okay, and so once you actually get your domain name and you've purchased it, there's going to be a control panel, and just for this, for this Udemy course, I'm showing you guys with GoDaddy, but you could also go to, like, let's say bluehost.com, for example. That's another domain registrar. You could choose them, and you could, set up your domain here as well. So there's a lot of different options. There's also register.com. Doesn't matter which one you use, they're all going to allow you to connect to Squarespace. So that's not going to be an issue. As long as you've reserved the domain, you'll be able to connect it to your Squarespace. Okay? So let's move on to the next section and help you actually pick a template on Squarespace, and we're going to start talking about that.